Hi, I'm Jonathan Tripodi, and I'm the founder of the Body Memory Recall Approach. I wanted to share a little bit about myself to kind of help you appreciate this journey of discovering body memory and the transformational process that I'm supporting others to experience. How did I get into it? Um, as a physical therapist, I got introduced to myofascial release, which is a technique developed by John Barnes that treats the connective tissue of the body. And the fascinating thing about connective tissue is somehow in the manipulation of that tissue, people have the release of suppressed memories, emotions, injuries, traumas, things from the past that are somehow locked and stored in the body. So I got introduced to this concept out of physical therapy school and just became completely fascinated by it. Uh, I, I devoted my entire career after that moment to the exploration of body memory and the techniques that help to support people to heal from them. And so I had a personal journey as well as a professional journey in this department as I received a lot of body memory treatment. So for the first 3 to 5 years, I was accessing and releasing many emotions, fears, some injuries and traumas from my childhood. And um, the amazing thing is how great I felt after each release. So as difficult as it was to feel some of those things, some of those pains and emotions, the the result was so worth it. The peace I felt inside, the freedom in my body to move, um, happy, happy and peaceful. Those are two of the major, benefits. And so I just kept going. I felt like I was onto something, a really, truly amazing and liberating. Suddenly, suffering was just leaving my body on a regular basis, and I just became happier and happier. And I felt more empowered to continue to live a life that was joyful and happy and peaceful. I also had a life-threatening blood clotting disorder, which I discuss in my book, uh, Freedom from Body Memory. Um, but the blood clotting disorder was supposed to be a chronic illness. Doctors had said that the damage created from this disease was permanent and was going to get worse. And eventually I was going to lose my leg through amputation. And that's if I didn't form a blood clot that went to my brain or my heart, kill me. And so this was a really scary time in my life that happened before I got introduced to body memory. And as I began to get treated and releasing memories from my past that were in my body, my leg began to heal. And so there was this miracle that happened where I've completely healed myself of this life-threatening illness. And I used my own body's intelligence to do it. And what I mean by that is that when you have a transformation where things from your past are accessed and released, this isn't something that is done to you. There is touch to the body, yes, and there are techniques that are applied to the body. But that's only to help you come out of the protective state that is keeping all of the suppressed energy in your body. And once that protective state is released, so once you feel safe enough, and that's what these techniques do, they bring a sense of safety and support to not just your body, but you in your body. And once that happens, this transformational process happens. It's natural. We're designed to do it. And so I was so inspired by this that my own inner resources were transforming me of not only this chronic illness, but of a lot of the suffering from my past. And so I kind of let go of traditional physical therapy and moved into what I would call alternative healing. And eventually I became a massage therapist. And then I realized that that title itself wasn't really in alignment with transformational body work that I was doing and that service that I was offering. So I kind of let go of that title, and I felt like really the whole healing process of body memory became more of a spiritual path. It became a path for me to, in my own liberation of my suffering from my past, it started to connect me back to myself. So first back to my body, then to my emotions, and then back to my heart, and then eventually to my spirit. And the spirit's a subtle thing. It's not something that was obvious to me. And so it was only through the healing of these and the connections to these other parts of me that I eventually became aware of this energetic presence inside of me that also extends beyond me. And I was compelled to want to bring that healing and that reconnective process and that awareness of people's spirit. I wanted others to have that experience too. So I became an ordained minister with the Universal Life Church, located in California. And I began to proceed with my healing practice in a more spiritual way. Don't get me wrong, there's no dogma. I'm not a preacher, although when I get on my soapbox, some people will kiddingly call me preacher man. Um, but it's mainly to help. All I'm really wanting to do with my life is to be of service to humanity, to help them to discover their innate ability to transform themselves of suffering from their past. Why? It's the most profound experience that you can have as a human being. Most people are really struggling, and they're looking to medications, they're looking to surgery, they're looking to special gadgets, they're looking to higher powers and authorities to help make things right for them. And all those things help to a degree. And yet at some point, they don't. And then we're left with going inward and making that discovery of our own inner intelligence, our own inner power to transform ourselves. And so that's the joy of my life, and that's the mission of my life and the mission of my work. Thank you for listening.